to Eagles Impact. Today I have an amazing guy with me who is actually one of the great success facilitator in Denmark here. And actually, there's supposed to be two, but unfortunately, I got one of them over here. So it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Jeppe. Nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
So how you doing?
Good, thanks, doing great.
Was it difficult to be here?
No, it was awesome to be invited here.
Amazing, man. Good to have you. Good to have you.
Thanks.
Okay, so we go straight. Actually, unfortunately, we don't have Kasper here today. So, actually, I wanted to ask how you guys doing, if you guys are, because since I started seeing you guys, I've been having this kind of thing in my mind, like, are you guys twins? Or how do you guys get to meet each other, you know? I really don't know. Can you just...
How we met each other?
Yeah, how you guys started working together, man?
Actually, Kasper and I, we met at university almost 10 years ago in Aalborg,
okay,
my hometown.
Okay.
And that's actually where we met first time. And then we, actually, when we finished our university degree, I moved to Siemens Wind Power to work for that company, and Kasper, he started on his own. And then when I was, after a couple of years in Siemens, Kasper called me, asked me if I wanted to be a part of the company. And in a matter of a few seconds, I said yes. Okay. But I still had to quit my job, of course. So,
okay.
8 months later, approximately, I left my job in Siemens, and then we became a partnership, Kasper and I, only professionally.
So you guys are not twins, right?
Twins, we are not twins. No.
Because you guys, the teamwork is so amazing.
That's true. Yes.
The teamwork is so amazing. I was kind of, man, how can we get this kind of couples of guys coming together and doing incredible things here in Denmark? I was like, man, are these guys twins, or how do they get this kind of energy together? So it's good to know that you guys are not twins.
No, we're not twins.
I must commend, like, you guys are great.
We have been asked if we were a couple because at one time we were sleeping in an office for 1 year together, and people, they thought we were working together, and we were doing seminars together and doing interviews together, and also sleeping together. Okay. But only sleeping next to each other, not together. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Good to know that. So actually, we're gonna go through the list I have here.
Yes.
Because I have a lot of couples of stuff I would really like us to talk about. Because a few days ago I was actually going through your review on the webpage. I've seen, like, you guys are one of the most amazing success experts currently right now. Believe me. You might not know, but there are a lot of guys. I've seen a lot of testimony, people becoming better of themselves through your coachings and motivations and a lot of stuff, you know. So now, what we're going to talk about is this. How do you guys get started? What really triggers you to feel like, man, I think I have much to give to the world?
Yeah, what's got us started in this business? Kasper, he got a book when he was studying in school. It's called The Secret. Maybe you heard about The Secret, where how the thoughts actually impact your results and the way you do things. And that got him to improve his grades just by changing his approach to doing the things. I've always been studying a lot of different biographies of successful people, because I thought it was quite interesting that many of the people that had the biggest success, or at least make big impacts, just like this, Eagles Impact, like, they were not necessarily the people with the most education. So that also got me inspired to study more of these books. And then, Kasper, he went to Toronto to take this education under our mentor, Bob Proctor. And as things can be a bit tough when you're on your own, he called me to ask if we should be a partner in this company, Bering Søgaard. And ever since that, in 2016, we started our company and have been working on this full-time ever since.
Okay.
And we plan to continue so for the rest of our lives.
Sound incredible. Really, really sound incredible. One thing I was also thinking about is, like, man, you know, Bob Proctor is a great guy.
Yeah.
You know, since 2014 or 13 thereabouts, I first bumped into Bob Proctor's webpage, and I was reading about him. At the point I started watching his video, the guy made a comment that raised a kind of controversy within me. The comment was like, he made a statement. At that point, I can't even describe how I was then. I was fucking confused and frustrated at every point, you know. So Proctor made a statement like, money is the easiest thing you can ever make in life. If only you learn how to do it. I was like, what is this guy saying? What I don't know. Because at this point of time in my life, I I was so confused.
Yeah.
There was no family, there was no company,
No
there
money.
was no future, there was no money, there was not even home. I was living in a train station there in Denmark. I was not even legal in Denmark then.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, how could somebody say that money is the easiest thing you can ever make in life if you learn how?
Yeah.
And when I want money and now I don't even have shit and somebody's telling me this is the easiest thing you can ever make. Yeah. You know, after a couple of days, I also come across this guy there, Les Brown. I don't know if you heard about Les Brown. Yeah. So Les Brown made another statement that also raised another controversy. All these things never resonated with who I was at that very point. You know, Les Brown also make a statement like, becoming a millionaire was the easiest thing he could ever do in life. But believing that he can make $1 million was the most difficult thing he could ever believe he could. Yeah. And I was like, you know. So each time I see what you guys are doing, I'm not really so surprised because I believe you guys learn from the greatest of the greatest. You know, Bob Proctor is actually the greatest. You know?
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah, he is, man. He is. But if I must ask, but why do you guys choose to go to Canada all the way from Denmark? Because a lot of Danish don't really believe in that kind of mental
no, that's
true. Yeah.
Well, I guess Bobby didn't want to go to Denmark, so we had to go to him. But we decided to, there is a lot of people within this industry of personal development and coaching, like Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, a lot of different people, and there are also some Danish people. The way Bob, he taught these things that we are now also you could say utilizing or using on ourselves and explaining to other people, it really resonated with us, and I think he's done it in such a simple way that anyone can understand it, even small children can understand the principles that we are teaching. And I think that's crucial for people to be able also to implement in their lives. We have a tendency to do everything complex, but we want to make it so simple that we can actually take it and act on it. Yeah, and that's why we chose to go to Canada to have this, you could say, education under Bob Proctor.
Yeah, sure. But I think that was a very good choice, man.
Thanks.
It was a very good choice. Okay, let's go straight to my legs, man.
Have you ever figured out why, how it becomes easy to earn money?
To earn money?
Yeah, you said it was.
Now I'm getting to know about it. Man.
Oh, okay.
Now I've seen how easy it is, man. It's a matter of mindset. It's a matter of mindset. Because like then, the kind of mindset I have now, I wasn't having it then. You know, because I was totally out of that environment. You know, so at the point, like after following Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Jack Canfield, and Tony Robbins, and Samuel Sinek, some of these guys we just mentioned just now, you know, I started growing a kind of mindset of how to figure out what I want, not just wishing. Exactly. You know, before I was just wishing, I wish I could have this, I wish I could have this. But what it really takes to really get this wish true was not really there inside of me. So after following up this guy for a couple of times, I kind of grew into the environment. So now everything they talk that resonate with what I have with them, you know. But then it wasn't like that. It was actually a total controversy with them as soon as I was getting all this stuff, you know. So I think it's a matter of mindset. Cool. So when you grow the mindset into the environment, so you don't get annoyed with it when the statement come anymore. That's true. But rather, it resonates with what is already within you. You know. So okay, now I'll read from here. You guys have been disrupting the Scandinavian environment with what you guys are doing right now, trying to help people to become the best of themselves. You know, because like we live in an environment whereby people believe in a 9-to-5 job, you have to do the 37 hours in a month or a week to earn a living, or sometimes we dream like we have a dream to live a good life, like drive a good car, have the big home, go for the best vacation. But it's like everybody have been able to shift this dream to after retirement instead of living it currently. So, but with the presence of you guys have been able to make people to realize like you don't have to wait for retirement to live life.
That's true. You
can live it currently right now and live it into your retirement.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah, for true.
Yeah, because that's one thing I really love about what you guys are doing right now. Because I saw there was a young guy I saw a few days ago who was giving testimony about you guys, how he started making very good improvement on himself after he dropped his job, and now he's making almost $1 million. You know, so I was like, okay, man, this is cool. I wish everybody could just follow you. Then we'll start making millionaires every day, you know. So now what I want to say is this: like, since you guys really got into this campaign,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hvor lang vil det gå til success, right? Eddy?
Yeah. How long are you?
How long are we willing to become successful?
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. So then, what has this? How many people do you think have actually gained a good life from this campaign, man?
I hope thousands now. We have I think 2,600 followers on Facebook, and I believe that we not maybe all of them do see our post, but I believe a big part of them actually they read the post we do and try to implement parts of these things into their lives. I know we have had more than 2,000-3,000 through our seminars, and I know we have had a bit more than 100 people through our coaching programs, and we know for sure the people that have been through our courses, they have had quite a great success with it. Not my words, but also their words.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. But for everyone who really desire to have a changed life, you know, at the point in life we kind of feel like, I think I need more. I should be better than this. But there are a lot of people out there who really feel the desire to have a switch from where they are to where they desire to be. But for people who are in this kind of categories, how can you help them?
Well, I think you have to become aware that there are no limitations to what you can do. I can only show them and inspire them, but they have to do the change themselves. And I think that's one of the first steps. Try to inspire by example. Sometimes you can say it's easy for me to talk about what I do, but the best way actually to inspire is also to lead by example. That's also what Kasper and I will try to do. We have had a lot of people tell us why they can't do things, and we just told them, well, you may not be able to do it right away, but if you set the target and if you are willing to take the necessary steps to get there, you will be able to do it. Use my own example. Slept in this office for 1 year, low cost, you know, and we're willing to sacrifice a lot of things to be able to live the dream. And that's what most people, they don't want to. They don't want to sacrifice some of the things they have in their lives to be able to pay for the car they have and all the things that maybe not even give them satisfaction in life.
Yeah.
So I think you have to, you have to inspire them that they are able to do something more than they're currently doing. And I think everybody watching this, and I think every single person has a feeling inside of themselves that they are able to do more than they're currently doing. And if they get real honest with themselves, they will also be able to bring this to the surface. But it requires a change of thought and change of mind to be able to get there.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it requires sacrifice.
Well, everything has a price. You don't get anything out of nothing, which is a good thing. But I also see sacrifice as you give something off of a lower value to get something of a higher value. And that's a nice sacrifice, right? But most people, they got it all twisted. They think that the most important things are maybe the material stuff in the world. It's to be able to maybe travel 2-3 times a year. If that's the most important thing for the people, well, that's good. But maybe that is not the greatest thing for them. Maybe it would be better to have, let's say, 49 weeks of the year where you love what you do, and then you could have another 3 weeks that were maybe not the best for you. That would be the way to live life, I believe. I'm not here to determine how people should live their life. They should decide on themselves. But I think, really, my best recommendation is always take a piece of paper and write down how do you want to live your life, and then start living that way. You don't have to do it all at the same time, but try to decide how do you want to live in the future and start taking small steps in that direction. But most people, they never do that. They always just say, well, this is not possible right away. And of course it's not possible. Like I saw you have 2 children, right? Yeah. They didn't just learn to walk like this. No. It took some time. Yeah. And when we had to learn how to drive a car, it also took some time. But we learned it. Yeah. And now we understand how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That's really, really amazing. So, but now, when it comes, because now, between both the rich and the poor or the middle class, it's like everybody's looking for something. Mm-hmm. And most importantly, the thing is like, we're all looking for money. Mm-hmm. Now, basically now. Sometimes people don't even care about like having a balanced life. People believe when I get money, I have a balanced life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
No, now, see, and I believe there is only one way to make money. serving a lot of people. This is what I believe for me. I don't know if this
say
serving a lot of people.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
I believe there's only one way to be rich.
That's true.
By serving a lot of people.
Yes.
And if you want to be more richer, you create an entity that serves a lot of people.
Yes.
This is what I believe. But what do you think about this? Do you think?
I agree that you have, if you want to earn more money, you have to provide better service. That's the only way to do it. Most people, they think it's through work, but just by working doesn't mean that you will get any compensation for that. You need to deliver something of a value. It's so simple, but still it's so misunderstood by most people. So I always say there are two ways to earn money. There's people at work, me and you, but there's also money at work, and you can get both working for you. But each way you have to deliver some service. There has to be some value in this, and that's the only way to earn money. Most people, they want the quick fix. Well, you can maybe get a quick fix once or twice in your life, but you don't get any satisfaction out of that.
Yeah.
I think the greatest satisfaction comes, and I also think the greatest amount of money come when you love what you do. It might sound like some kind of poetry, this do what you love, but I think the only way to become really good at it is if you more or less fall in love with what you do. There might be some things you don't like on the way, but for the bigger purpose of what you want, you will have to love what you do. Otherwise, it's going to be too hard, and you're gonna give up too early in the process.
Awesome, awesome. So okay, now let's talk about giving up.
Yeah.
Since you begun this, you started your trip of like trying to do what you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever think about giving up at one point?
I think actually, first when I quit my job in Siemens, it was quite a tough transition, because before I had my colleagues, I had my leasing car, I had my fixed salary, I had my career opportunity. Everything was settled and safe and secure. And then when I signed up, when I quit my job to start as a self-employed, I was really enthused about this. But still, I had no money, I had no colleagues, I had no name, nothing. And I remember in this period of my life, I was a bit in doubt in my head. But that's also why I just know you need to study successful people, and the more you understand how successful people they have gone from where they are to where they went, or to what they succeeded with, the more you will understand that they have all had these doubts. Yeah. But it's the people that continues despite of these doubts. And the more I study this, the more I start to understand that it's all natural what's happening in the mind, and kick the doubt out, start focusing on what you want and what you believe in instead. And that's what's helped me. I think really studying your mind, studying the human potential is crucial for people's success. I think the more you understand of yourself, the easier it will be for you to create the life you want.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But most people don't understand much of themselves. They know this is like my name is Jeppe, and this is my body, this is my hand, but you don't say that this is my hand. This is my hand, but this is not Jeppe.
Yeah.
This is my hand. So who am I? And you need to understand who am I. What kind of values do you have? What do you believe in? What is important to you? And often we don't know much about that. And that's what personal development has given me, a lot of deeper insight to myself and my potentials. I think the biggest part of us is not what you can see, but actually the non-physical part of us, the mind.
Yeah. I also remember there's a quote by Bob Proctor regarding the non-physical part of us. It's actually like, is the non-physical part of us that determine what happens to the physical part of us. Exactly. Something like that, but actually I can't really get how he phrased it of them, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's awesome then. That's awesome. But like, for somebody who really deserves to have more in life, do you have some series of habits you would recommend for anybody who desires to have more in life?
Yeah, I would say get a good book on personal development. Start to study biographies of successful people. I would recommend the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Exactly, it's a very small book. You can read it in less than 20 minutes. I would recommend our own book. It's called Tænk dig til resultater. It's a small picture book. It explains these things. And the more you understand, the better you will also be able to change it. Like I can see you have a cow here, probably for your children. I don't I think you will fit in it. But let's say it breaks down, right?
Yeah.
And I want to improve it or fix it.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm let's say I'm ignorant, I don't know how a car is functioning. It would be a hard time for me to improve the car or fix the car. So it's the same with our mind and ourselves. If you want to improve yourself and fix yourself, you also need to understand how you work. That's why when the car is down, I send it to the mechanic. He knows how to solve it or how to fix it or how to improve it. But when you have to improve yourself, you have to fix yourself, and that's also why you have to understand yourself. And the only way to get understanding is through study. You have to study yourself, you have to understand yourself. And that's by reading a good book, getting a good coach, for example. Yeah.
That's great. So this is what you do to people who register with you?
Yeah, let's say people that don't invest in our coaching program. I would recommend them to go get a book. Books are for free, you can get them at the library.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't even bother going down to the library and get the library card to buy the book or to loan the book, exactly. And then you don't deserve to get the prize. Like, you can't get a six-pack if you don't go to the fitness. No. Yeah. Well, it's a rule, it's a law, and it's the same here. You have to put something in to get something out, but I can tell you the price you're gonna pay is so much smaller compared to the value that you will get, the reward you will get. But just remember, price is before the reward. It's not the opposite around. Most people, they sit in front of the stove and wait for the fire, but you need to chop the woods and put the woods in before you can get the fire. Most people, they say, give me fire and I'll find the woods, but never works.
That's really sound incredible, honestly speaking. So let me go to the next question I have here. There is a quote that said, a change of habits is the pathway to change of life. You agree with it, right?
Totally agree.
Amazing. Okay, can anyone really be successful and be happy? Or there are kind of specific people, maybe the luckiest palm or the one who are...
No, I believe everyone can have success, and we also have to define what success is. And one of the greatest definitions that I've ever read was actually from Bob Proctor's mentor, Earl Nightingale.
Yeah.
He said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know where you are, you know where you want to go, exactly what is important to you, and in that moment you make a decision to move in that direction, you are success. That means not when you get there, but as soon as you start on the process, you are success. That means everyone on this planet can become successful if they decide, this is where I want to go, and start moving in that direction. So it's easy to become successful. You may also ask, can everyone become millionaires, for example? And I think it's the exact same thing. There might be some people who are better privileged. Born in Denmark, it's a privilege to be here.
Yeah.
We have the whole system set up for success, you could actually say.
Yeah.
So for sure some people are better off than other people, but I think the only limitations that are in our life are the ones that we put on our own mind. You have seen people who have come from the worst conditions who have succeeded, and then you have seen people come from the best conditions who have failed miserably. So it cannot be the circumstance. It must have to be something in the mind.
I couldn't agree more to that.
Exactly. If people, they would just start thinking about this, don't just listen to this once and then move on to the next YouTube. Watch this video again and again and again. Start understanding that there have been Beethoven, he was deaf and become one of the greatest musicians. Cristiano Ronaldo, he was told he would never be a great football player. Well, the story has told how good he was. So never listen to these people. Never believe in what other people they say. Really be careful who you listen to. Most people, they will give you free advice because free advice is for free.
Yeah, cheap.
You can get it on it's cheap. You can get it on every street corner. So really make sure the person that you're speaking to, the person that you're asking a question regarding how to become successful or reach whatever you want in your life, that he knows what he's talking about. Don't just take, if I ask my mother, for example, how I should succeed in personal development or succeed with my own company, she has never started a company, so I can't expect her to know anything about it. She knows a lot about cooking and being a great mother and all kinds of things, but maybe starting a company, I should go to another expert for advice and be sure that he knows what he's talking about. Yeah. So I think everyone can become successful if they decide where they want to go and they start moving in that direction and start focusing on how they can get there. So people, they often tell me why something is not possible. And it may be true that there are some, you could say, obstacles on your way. But I will really strongly recommend these people to start focusing on how it can be done. And the more you start focusing on that side of the coin, the more solutions you will find. That doesn't mean you will have struggle on the way, you will. But that's a big part of the fun, you know, having struggles, having some challenges. If it's just easy going, well, where's the fun in that? No one wants to see a football match where one team wins 10-0. You know, the most exciting matches are where they end up in penalty in the end, where there is a bit struggle.
Yeah,
so it should be the same with life.
That's getting more interesting.
Yeah, it's much more interesting.
Because like regarding this question, man, I've get a couple of emails coming to me like from some of my audience, like, man, I'm this age, can I still make it in life? I live in a certain geographical area. Can I still be successful? What does it really take for me as a person to be successful? You know, I kind of like, man, I actually believe with everything you said just now, because what I have inside of me also resonate with it is because I believe anyone can be successful, irrespective of where you're coming from, background, or your zone or whatever. In a small, you have the determination, you have the desire in you, like, I want to be this kind of person in life. You know, how to become should not really be a problem. But what you want to be should be the major cue.
Exactly.
So there are things that the universe have to take care of, which shouldn't be your worry at all.
Exactly.
You know, in as much you have this kind of picture like this, who I want to be.
Yes.
So you don't even have to worry how you're gonna get there. Just set on your GPS and start doing your habit routine. You know.
So true. Yeah, we when I was taking my university degree, I was always taught that I should know how to get there. I should know the plan and the way. But I don't think that's true. I actually think the people that really have made great success in life, they never knew how to get there.
Yeah.
They just knew they wanted to. And just as you say, you don't need to know how it's gonna work out. You just need to know it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Just like we have a plant here. So if you go to your garden, your only task is to plant the seed. The whole universe, the whole earth will take care of the whole process.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same with you. You have to take your want and bring it into a desire, and you will see the way will be shown. No children can tell you how they are going to reach their goals because they just don't know, right? But that doesn't mean they stop trying. They keep on pursuing. They want to walk, they want to talk, they want to eat, they want to become football players, sing stars, they want to become all kinds of things. They don't know how to get there, they just know they want to. But then suddenly some kinds of people in the environment start asking them that they can't do that and you should know how to do it. But that's not true. Look at successful people. See that these people, they did not know how to get where they ended. They just knew they wanted it. And if we will start thinking about this, you will also understand your most important task is to figure out what you want. And then just start acting towards it. You will know. It won't be straight ahead, but there will the resources you will need. They will show up when you need them.
Honestly, I just hope everybody listening to you on this, man.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to our next question here. There's a lot of people out there that would really love to hook up with you guys. Maybe perhaps follow you up on your social media platform and probably take your courses and whatever on how to become a better self or make a lot of money or improve their business and get better out of themselves. Then where can they actually find you guys?
Well, they can find us on Facebook, Bering and Søgaard. They can find us on Instagram, also a bit YouTube. Hook us up on LinkedIn. Jeppe Søgaard and Kasper Bering, my great partner, the better half of the two of us. They can call us, they can look up at our website. We give all kinds of stuff for free, freebies, these PDF files. You can buy our Pixie books, they cost 50 kroners. And that would be maybe an investment worth in your own personal development. Start reading some of these things that are for free. I think it's like if you want to learn how to operate a computer or a car, you need someone to teach you. Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, you can probably figure it out on your own, but it will probably take you
a long time.
A long time, exactly.
Yeah.
So look into the depth of this, start understanding what is limiting you, what you want to do with your life, and start to understand how the process is, and how the process, what are the requirements to get there. And the more you understand of these things, the easier it will be for you to get there, and the less doubt you will have. And I see doubt as some of the biggest, how can you say, the biggest, things that stops people from reaching a goal. They start doubting themselves.
All right, fantastic. But unfortunately, we don't have Kasper here today.
No.
So now let me direct this question straight to you, all in. So you as a person, Jeppe, what impact do you want to make in the world?
If you look on a big scale, I want to make an impact on the educational system. I think the educational system, more or less worldwide, is broken. It's good in some areas, but it's also broken in some areas. We don't teach people about themselves. We teach them about books, about subjects, all kinds of things. But really understanding yourself, no school is teaching. And just to give an example of this, you can find people that leave universities. They have all kinds of degrees on their resumes. They can't even be on it. And these same people, they maybe have difficulties finding a job. Think about this. We have people finishing educations and they can't get a job because they're not aware of it. And then you find other people who have maybe difficulties reading or writing, and they become very successful. You also find the opposite. But this should really make a person think, okay, if not all people that just take an education are successful, then education cannot be the primary factor for success. So what is it? And that has to do, again, how you think about yourself. If you look at all great leaders through time, they have all said, we become what we think about.
Yeah.
So start observing your own thoughts.
Your own thoughts. But do you really think we can be able to include this thing into the educational system?
I think so. It will probably not be an easy task. But
no, because it's a very serious stuff. Because like now sometimes you see somebody who go to school, get a lot of degrees, and when you ask how good are you, most of them are not happy with the job. Mm-hmm. And when you ask what would you like to do, I don't know.
No.
So I think the education is very good, but it's like what you just said. There's something that is missing in the education system. People need to be aware of themselves, because I've seen a couple of people, like, they go to school not really to study or to study on what inside of them already, but just to get what the education got to offer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I believe if we can go to school to refine what is already inside of us, there's no way we can get confused when we're out of school.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Because sometimes when you come out of school and there is no job, you get confused because you don't know what to do.
Exactly. Let me give you a small and fun story about a friend of mine. I was studying my master degree together with him, and we were studying economics. So when you study economics, you should at least learn something about how to earn money, you would assume.
Yeah, sure.
Apparently that wasn't the case, but this example goes that I was actually in a group with him, and we were making a report, as you have to do on universities, so you could get a degree for it. This guy, he was not good at writing. He was not good at this at all. So for him to get a great degree in school was more or less, it was not impossible, but it was not something that it was not something that felt natural for him. So what I did, and this is not something I was proud of, today he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I kicked him out of the group.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was not helping me to get the grade that I wanted. Today, he's earning millions.
Doing what he loves, right?
Doing what he loves, exactly. Helping a lot of people. So, at that point in time, I thought it was about the degree. I would recommend people when they go to school, of course, do your best, but don't think that getting a degree is what is going to make you successful in life. Like, a degree is just a piece of paper, right?
Yeah, it is.
It may say something about what you did in the past, but beside from that, it is just a piece of paper.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just to tell that there might be some people who think they're not capable of doing things because of X, Y, Z. That's all the reasons why you can't do it. Forget about those and look at why you can. And that's what this guy did. I'm not against people that are intellectual. I think intellectual people, they can also become very highly successful, and many of them are, but not necessarily only to their intellect, but because of, you could say, the thoughts they're having about themselves, the self-image.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more to that, man. That's really something.
It's nice always being agreed with.
See, now, you know, we live in an environment right now, like a lot of people are not happy with their job. So they're actually in between the tail line, either to give up my job or to start a business. So what advice do you have for this kind of people?
That wants to start a business next to their job?
Yeah.
Spend your spare time on it. If you really want it, start spending some time on it. Like if you want to have the six-pack, you got to do the workouts. If you want to build a company, you need to spend some time on it. Don't, like people, and these people, they may say they don't have time for it. Well, if you work, let's say 8 hours a day and you commute 1 hour to work each day, that's 10 hours. Then you might also want to spend some time on sleeping. Let's give the person 8 hours. Then we're on 18 hours, right? That leaves you with 6 hours a day where you can do whatever you want, right? You may also tell me, I also need to read, I also need to spend time with my family. Well, you don't have to, but you probably should, right? Let's say that goes 2 hours with that. That leaves you with, let me see if my mathematics are correct, 4 hours left, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing with those 4 hours? Right, start spending them on this company that you say that you love so much. That's how I started in this business. I was still in Siemens when I did this. I took the education and I went to Canada to take the education, and I actually started teaching this to people while I was in Siemens. And then when you feel that you have enough financial security, like that you can maybe you have all your costs down to the limit, also to the minimum, and you can live on that for maybe 6 to 12 months, maybe a bit more, 6 to 12 months on your savings. I would totally recommend this person quit the job and go full-time on it. Because there was in this book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, he says, only when a person, he will burn all his boats, he's sure to win. And I think that's true. You really have to, there cannot be no escape way. Well, there can, but I think you will be much stronger if you don't have it. So why should there? If you love what you're doing, why have an escape way? I remember this is something I was asked so much in the beginning. How long time are you going to give this? Like, how long are we going to try to start this together with Kasper?
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, of course. Like, why give up on something that
I believe in?
I believe in, and I think it's fun to do. It won't make sense, right? And if people, they could understand that, why give up on something that you actually want to do? And then people, they may say, well, I can't make a living from it. Well, then figure out how you can make a living from it. People, they buy all kinds of shitty products that probably won't do them any good. Just look at this home here. People, you probably bought all these things because you wanted them. Well, figure out what you want, and you will also figure out a way how to get it.
Yeah.
That's what people, they do. They buy things they want. So if you want something, you will also find a solution. You go for it, exactly. Yeah. And I think if you love what you do, it will be easy for you to provide great service to people. I won't say you can just do it overnight, but if you put your work and put your head down and start focusing on it, you will be able to make a living from it. In the beginning, Kasper and I, we earned 0 money on this. But yeah,
that's great.
Things have improved.
But during that process, like when you guys earned 0, like just like you as you signify, what really kept you guys going then?
I think belief and faith, inspiration. I think it's so crucial to figure out what you want. Most people, they never go after what they really want, and I think that's why they give up. They set the wrong goals. You probably have heard about SMART goals, and the R in SMART goals stands for realistic. But I don't think people, they should be realistic. There's no inspiration in being realistic. The Wright brothers that sent the first plane into the air, they That was probably not realistic at that time. People they are saying they were crazy. You and I speaking in front of 2-3 cameras here. If you have told that to my grandmother, she would have told you were
you're crazy man.
You're crazy man. What are you talking about? If you want to talk with someone, you walk to them, right, or you travel to them. So there, you need to really start stretching yourself. I always mention 3 types of goal a person can set, but it's only one of them I recommend. A goal, that's what you know you can do. So let's say I have a car. Right now I'm driving a Kia Ceed, and I want to have another Kia Ceed. Well, I've already bought one, I can go do it again. B goal is what you think you can do. So let's say I want maybe, I don't know what the better version of Kia is, but a car a bit better than that.
Yeah.
I can probably plan myself out of that. But if you really want to stretch yourself, and if you really want to be inspired and keep, as you said, pursuing and keep persisting, you need to go after something that is so strong inside of you.
It's bigger than you.
You have 2 children, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if I kidnap your 2 children.
Man,
when would you stop?
I'll do what it takes, man. I'm not going to stop until
You're not going to
back.
stop until you get them back, right? Well, there you have your answer. Find something just as strong as that.
Yeah.
Getting your parents or your children kidnapped. And you have the answer. You will never stop pursuing.
So your why has to be really strong enough.
Exactly.
That's the point, man.
But I also think Napoleon Hill, he said it very well. He said, you have to nurse this idea until it becomes so strong that it's actually the idea that is pulling you. When I started in this business, I found it very interesting and inspiring. But I was just inspired, like probably in my head, but not necessarily totally in my heart.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to nurse this idea. I always imagine you have a candlelight, and that is your desire. Well, if it's only as strong as a candlelight, it's easy to blow out. So you need to put, woods on it so it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And then in the end, it's like you could say a fire in the woods is almost unstoppable. And that's how you want to be. You want the idea to drive you, and not just by your own will. People, they try to use their will, but the will, normally after a couple of days, it's going to give up. So you have to really make it a part of your heart, and you only do that by repeating it for yourself and starting getting emotional with it every day.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for.
I won't kidnap your children though.
No, I believe you. Thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
I think you're doing a great job here.
Thanks so much, Jeppe.
You also asked me like, how can you change the educational system?
Yeah.
Well, you are helping people here, right? Maybe you are helping other parents, and in that way you're also helping their children. So we are together on the game. Exactly. It's a pleasure, bro. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate you. Thanks so much. So you say my regards to Kasper. I will. I should also send him his regards to you. Alright, man. Thanks so much, man. Thanks. Alright, guys. That was an amazing time with Jeppe. And I hope you guys enjoy the moment. So, you're listening to this video all over and over. Do what it takes and don't settle for the legs. God bless.